All right, welcome back. Episode 5, Pittsburgh Post Gazette Pod. We got Super Bowl 57 preview. We'll get into the line of the game, the over under, all the different props. Um, so we got KC against Philly. Line right now is -1.5. Over under is 51. Mason, what do you like in this game?
All right. So starting with the main lines, of course, I'm going to ride my birds in this one. I'm going to play Eagles money line. I got it at -120. Waited a little bit longer than I should have on that one, but we're not too worried about that. Eagles -1 at -110 on the spread number. Definitely going to play that. I think if they win by at least maybe 6 points even. Um, I haven't played anything on the total yet. I think I might dip into the over early tomorrow morning. I'm gonna have to think on that and sleep on it tonight.
You mentioned you got Eagles minus like 120, you got it late. I put Eagles -110 in right after the NFC Championship game. I was worried it might move closer to like a 130 and then the line gets to like a 3.5. I think the spread opened around half a point either side.
Yeah.
So right now, it hasn't moved much, just a point in favor of Philly, but I got the 110 quick. Like I said, it hasn't really moved, but either way, I think 110, 120. I think the money line or the spread, either way you decide to go, it's probably if you think Philly's going to win, I think you're okay there.
Yeah.
I did take the over. I got it at 50.5. I've seen it 51, 51.5, 50.5. I haven't seen 52 yet, but I won't be surprised if we see that tomorrow. And looking at Action Network, looking at some of like, where the sharp money's coming in, where's the big money, we're not seeing a whole lot of action. I mean,
No.
last year I remember in the Super Bowl, the spread, you had like close to 20 sharps on Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
This year you don't have that. I think there's two sharp moves on Kansas City, which is nothing for Super Bowl. You would think, everybody's going to be betting. So I think a lot of people are unsure on this one. There's not a clear side that everybody favors or not. I know you and I both like Philly, but we've been kind of Philly bandwagon fans all year. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I mean, I'm gonna say one thing, and it may be a little vulgar, but
all right.
fuck the Chiefs. Go Birds. We're bringing this back to Philly this year. Screw Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, that cheeseburger eating piece of crap. Jalen Hurts should have been the MVP. The Eagles are bringing this home, and we're rubbing dirt in Casey's face. That's all I got to say. That's going to be my vulgar point in this video.
Yeah, I think that's definitely some extra motivation for Hurts because I agree with you. He should have won MVP. Historically, over the years, a lot of the times the MVP winner does not win the Super Bowl. I think Mahomes, the first time he won it, he got his ass kicked by Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Um, Even before that, I'm thinking back to Cam Newton. He won the MVP. The Broncos shut him down. Another thing I'll look at in this game too is Casey's wide receivers. I mean, they're not that good. The ones that they do have are banged up. I
I
think
think Meeko's maybe not playing, right?
that could be the case. I know Juju's going to play, but he was hurt a little bit in the AFC Championship game. Valdez-Scantling should play, but like he was like wide receiver 3 for Green Bay. Like he's not.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce is the primary target on that team.
Yeah.
Um, another thing I look at is Casey's offensive line. I don't know, thinking back to the Tampa Bay Super Bowl. I mean, they could not stop Tampa Bay's pass rush. I think something similar is going to happen here. I think Philly's going to be able to get to the quarterback early and often. And on the other side, I think Philly's offensive line is one of the better ones in the NFL, if not the best. I think they're going to do a good job protecting Hurts. I don't think Casey's pass rush gets there. Um, I don't think they have the talent in the secondary to keep up with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Whereas the Eagles, even if the pass rush doesn't get there, their secondaries, probably one of the better ones in the game too.
Yeah.
Um, Travis Kelce's going to have the game of his life, like 4 touchdowns, 300 receiving yards, in order for Kansas City to win this game. But what really makes me nervous is I feel like it's so obvious it's Philly. Like I think they're the clear. This should be like a 3.5, 4 point line, and it just hasn't moved. I don't know where they're thinking that Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to be able to hang in with Philly. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a lot of Chiefs fans, a lot of Eagles haters, just throwing dirt on Jalen Hurts' name. There were a lot of people saying Jalen Hurts was not an MVP player this year, talking about how he misses games and it doesn't really affect them. But the odd thing is he missed. I want to say he missed maybe 2 games. They dropped those 2 games
Yeah.
after he came back. Didn't have an issue, balled out. So kind of tired of the disrespect on Jalen Hurts' name. He's a baller. Let him ball. He's going to show you tomorrow.
Super Bowl MVP.
Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes, Jackson Mahomes, all those people. Bunch of bitches, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go with my birds in this one. Bang bang bird gang all the way. I'd love it if we see Patrick Mahomes just losing his mind on the field before halftime.
Glad you said mind and not like a limb or something. We don't root for injuries.
Nah, we can't root for injuries.
You would hate to see that. Hate to see
I'd
it.
hate to. I would hate to.
As far as the total goes, I mean, I do like the over, but you know, weirdly, that's another thing. Like you would think it would be much higher than 15.5, like 7 touchdowns. That's where it's right where it's at. That's 3 or 4 a team. It seems pretty reasonable in this game. These are two high-powered offenses. I think Philly definitely has the edge on defense, but
Yeah.
these teams are going to score. But it being 15.5 and just not moving, it kind of worries me on both sides, to be honest. The fact that Philly hasn't moved and the over/under hasn't moved. I don't know.
Yeah.
We log into action tomorrow. We see, all these different sharp moves. The line moves 2 or 3 points, both on the side and the total. That's a different story. Maybe, all those rich dudes out in Vegas are waiting until the day of to pull up. I don't know. They're still drunk
I
from
think
the
so a little
management
bit,
or
maybe.
what's going on.
Yeah. I think they may be holding out a little bit till tomorrow to see if anybody, maybe waiting for that one guy to make the big jump and then everybody tells him. I'm not sure, but I do think we'll see this line and the total move a little bit tomorrow, maybe early in the morning or even 4.5 hours before game time. I think we'll see something move.
Yeah, I could see again to like Philly minus 2.5. I'd be really shocked if you get to that football number like right at 3 or 3.5. I don't think it
I
gets
don't see it.
high. I could maybe see 2.5, but
Yeah,
um,
agreed.
all right. I know you and I both probably have a million props, so you want to get
Yes.
started with all the ones that you got. You said you had a 22 place tomorrow.
Yes. So I do have 22 total prop plays. That does not include my Eagles money line or my Eagles spread number. And like I said, we probably will play the total tomorrow. I just got to think on it, sleep on it. Maybe I'll have a good dream about it. But starting off, prop plays, we're going to start off with the one that was probably the hottest without the Eagles throughout the year. Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown scorer. I think I got it at minus 110. I think that was probably one of the hottest props all year long. I mean, if they're on the 10, Jalen Hurts is probably going to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
Moving on, we're going to do Jalen Hurts Super Bowl MVP. You can play that at plus 130. I think that's a lock. If the Eagles win, I mean, you got to think Jalen Hurts is probably going to get that MVP. Moving on after that, we're going to go into the coin toss. We're going to play tails because tails never fails. Got that at 105 minus 105. Moving on, Eagles by 1 to 6 points, winning margin, plus 300. If
Okay.
you think the Eagles are going to win, we know it's going to be a close game. If you want a little bit more odds, you can play that Eagles by 1 to 6 points at plus 300. Another one I like on the other side of the ball, Isaiah Pacheco, anytime touchdown at plus 140.
The signs.
Yes, the signs. Another thing, I mean, he's been running the ball very well lately. I know some other guys on the offensive side of the ball for KC are going to be a little banged up, so maybe they'll lean on Isaiah Pacheco, closer to that goal line situation. And one of the biggest ones, we got the inside information on this one. Gatorade color, probably my heaviest wager of the weekend. I'm going to be playing the yellow lime green for the Eagles to win. That is their color. If you think the Chiefs are going to win, you're going to want to play that orange color. I think you can get it at like plus 300 right now. I may be wrong. But that's our inside information. I'm going to be hammering that yellow lime green color because I know the Eagles are going to bring this home.
Unfortunately, I can't play that, but my cousin, he did volunteer to drive down to West Virginia, place these wagers for us. So I might have to hit him up in the morning, send him a bag like a college recruit, leave a briefcase at his doorstep.
Yeah, shout out Ty on that one. We got to get him over there.
So,
a couple more quick ones. So first drive parlay. This is one that I really like. Eagles touchdown. And then when Chiefs get the ball, they'll punt. That's a plus 650 play right there. So I'm thinking Eagles come out the gate hot. They score first. Their defense, shows up, shows everybody what's going on the first drive. They maybe shut Patrick Mahomes down before the 50. So I'm really leaning into that one. Moving on, national anthem. We're going to go over 2 minutes and 5 seconds. We got Chris Stapleton on the stage, country singer, slow voice, slow talker. I know the under's kind of famous the past couple of years, but 2 minutes and 5 seconds, I think we can hammer that one home.
yeah, I feel like you're not a patriot if you bet the under on the national anthem in the Super Bowl.
No, I don't. I agree there. If you're a true American, you want to see that go as long as we can get it.
Yeah.
Another one, kind of goofy one to, talk to your friends about, kind of just bullshit around for the weekend. Jackson Mahomes, over 1.5 TikToks during the game. This is a lock.
What are
the reason it's a lock is because say the Chiefs are in any kind of good shape by halftime. You're guaranteed a TikTok then. Say we're in the fourth quarter. Patrick Mahomes is down, 6, 3 points. They have the ball. Probably going to get a TikTok then too, which will put you at 2, which will give you the over at 1.5. So probably hammer that.
What's the
plus
odds
115?
Plus 115.
Plus 115. So you get plus odds on it. It's good value. A couple more quick ones, and then we'll move on to what you have, Brandon. So another crazy one, number of beers sold. I'm playing over 120,000 beers sold at plus 130.
That's easy. That's easy.
I think this is the silliest number that I've seen this weekend. You are bringing the Philadelphia Eagles into Arizona on top of the Kansas City Chiefs that, have a great run in the playoffs. They know what it's like to play in a Super Bowl. The Eagles are going to drink until 50% of them black out. So this 120,000 is easy totaled. So hammer that one home. And then one of my last favorite ones, team to call first time out. Kansas City Chiefs at minus 160. lately the Chiefs have been kind of poor with calling timeouts. Andy Reid's kind of been off, and I know a couple of times these past couple of weeks, Patrick Mahomes has actually called the timeout before Andy Reid even had the say on it. Nick Sirianni has been very smart this year and last year with calling timeouts. Jalen Hurts really doesn't interrupt that play calling with Nick Sirianni. So I do think that the Kansas City Chiefs will get that first timeout probably early in the second quarter. And those are my favorite props, Brandon. Love to hear what you have.
All right. So like I said, I'm on Philly money line. I'm on the over 50.5. Barstool took Big Cats can't lose parlay. Got some insurance on that, but Travis Kelce anytime touchdown, Miles Sanders
Yeah, of course.
over 39.5 rushing, Isaiah Pacheco over 29.5 rushing, Devontae Smith over 3.5 receptions, total points over 39.5. So like I said, I got some insurance on that, but I like all of those plays. I did take the coin toss tails with you. Like I said, tails never fails.
Yeah.
I know heads has had, like you said, has had a good run. I just feel like if tails hits and you bet heads, you're an idiot. Tails never
Yeah.
fails. You got
You definitely are. Yeah.
one bet I really, really like opening kickoff touchback. Read a stat that both Harrison Butker and Jake Elliott, they hit about 50% touchback in all of their
Okay.
games. If you
Yeah.
isolate that to just being in a dome, those numbers go up to like 70, 80%.
Okay.
Arizona dome. So I like opening kickoff touchback. Plus, whoever the returner is, they're not going to want to take it out and make a mistake early in the game. So I could definitely see them just, kicking it off through the back of the end zone or catching in the end zone, taking a knee. So that's
I
one
agree.
minus 137. So a little more juice on that, but I do like that bet. Um, First touchdown score. I have one for each team. I like both of the tight ends. I love Dallas Goedert and I love Travis Kelce to score a touchdown. I think the only way you get into trouble, particularly with the Eagles, is if they get inside that 5 yard line where Jalen Hurts is the threat to score. But if you're in the red zone where you're, close enough to the goal line, but not really a threat for Jalen Hurts to go over the top or, naked bootleg or something like that, I really like Dallas Goedert. That's like plus 1,300. Really good value on that.
Wow.
Travis
Wow.
Kelsey's plus 650. I played both of them. So, you could have a scenario where Chiefs get the ball first, they march right down the field and score, and Kelsey gets it. But for the Eagles, I like Dallas Goedert. Obviously, I like both of them to score a touchdown in the game regardless. So
I like
anything.
both of those values are insane. Those are very sharp.
Yeah. So I got both of them anytime touchdown score as well. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown score. Then I kind of went a little crazy. I got an insured parlay through FanDuel. So I added Hurts, Smith, Goddard, Pacheco, um, missing somebody else. Um AJ Brown and Miles Sanders. So I got them all. I took the over passing touchdowns for Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes at 1.5. Mahomes is minus 230, so little more juice you have to lay on that, but
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt to throw it into a parlay. Hurts is actually plus 102.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay.
they could see a lot of Philly running the ball. They did a lot of that in the NFC Championship game. Didn't throw it as much, so it's definitely a possibility. Another bet, I really like this in the NFC Championship game too, but they just did not throw the ball. Devontae Smith over 49.5 receiving yards.
Yes.
Minus
Yes.
210, but he's hit 50 yards in like 10 out of 18 games this year, something crazy like
Yeah.
that. So definitely like that one. Um, Another thing on the Kansas City side, Pacheco, his rushing prop, I think it's around that 49.5.
It is. Yeah.
I like that bet a lot. I think if Kansas City's going to win this game, they're going to have to win it running the football. That's kind of the Eagles' weak spot on the defense. Um, so that's another one to kind of look at. I have some other parlays through different books. FanDuel has one with Pat McAfee. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, Kelsey anytime touchdown, Hurts over 200 passing, Mahomes over 225 passing, Kelsey over 40 receiving. Then
Okay.
DraftKings had an Eagles super boost, Eagles money line, Hurts over 225 passing, Devontae Smith over 60 receiving. And then I did see a squad ride. I don't know if you follow like that BR betting website.
Yeah,
Squad ride for Boston Scott over 10 and a half rushing yards. So I could see that definitely hits.
I
It's
could see that.
subbing out Sanders, get Boston Scott as carry. I mean, you can get that one carry. You can get that
That's a first down run.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, if you think about it, that's a first down run, or say they're on the 10 and Miles Sanders hasn't been producing, they give it to Boston Scott, 10-yard rush touchdown. I mean, yeah, I love that. Yeah.
yeah. So that's about all of the props I have. And if you want to see any of them, follow us on Action Network. We got them all logged there. They're all tracked. You can tail them. You can add them to your card. You can do, you can like them, you can dislike them, you can fade them, whatever. But follow Action Network, not just NFL, but we put all our plays in there throughout the week: college basketball, NHL, NBA. All of them are on there. So, yeah, that's
Yeah. A couple more of the hot props, kind of on the stranger side, just a little bit of different numbers that you can play. So diving into the total, if you're going to play the over, I think you can go ahead and play longest touchdown scored at over 42.5 yards. You can get that at plus value right now at plus 105. So what I'm seeing on this, you got to think fourth quarter, after halftime, one of these teams is down 7 points. Both teams have at least one player that's capable of that 50-yard play. So I'm thinking either a Devontae Smith big play or maybe a Juju Smith-Schuster. So that
Brown is another one.
Yeah, AJ Brown, that's a good one too. Total combined yardage of all touchdowns scored over 80.5 yards, minus 135. Not a ton of value there, so you got to place a little bit more on it, but going back to the over 42.5 yards on the longest touchdown scored, the 80.5 ties in perfectly to that. And then another one going back to the kickoffs, like you said, total number of kickoffs returned by both teams under 3.5 at plus odds. So we're kind of leaning on touchbacks there, not a lot of, bringing it out, trying to get yards on the return.
Yeah, I definitely think with the returns, I just think a lot of these teams are just not going to want to make a mistake. You might get some returns late in the game when they have to make something happen.
Right.
But a lot of the time, I think they're keen with taking a knee, letting it fly through the back of the end zone, and starting at the 25 instead of risking getting inside the 20, 15, something like that. But
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's about all I got on this one. I mean, I think we both think Philly's going to win. We both like the over. So if you're listening, definitely bet on Kansas City. Definitely bet on the under, because it's just we're not both going to win money. That doesn't happen. It's either one or the other. So
yeah,
definitely
that's
fade
usually
that.
the
Kansas City Super Bowl 57 champions, Mahomes 2-time Super Bowl MVP. So book it.
Yep, book it, love it. Message us when it hits.
All right, y'all.
All right, thanks.